Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports Score coming to you today. My Week 4 college football picks for the 2021 college football season. Before I continue, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate you do that. We're trying to go to channel 500 subscribers by the end of the year. That's the subscriber goal there. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new. So last week was a great week of college football. A lot of close games, a few upsets, a lot of oh no's for some of the bigger programs, some of the teams in the top 10. So it was a great week, and I think we're going to get a good week again. We have two top 25 matchups, and we have, I think, a bunch of good games. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you my air record from last week, and then the overall record through the 2021 season. Last week we went 18-7. Overall, we did pretty good there. Against the spread, 16-9, we did pretty good there. The locks of the week, not so good. We want to at least get 4 out of 5 on that. We only got 2 out of 5 on it, so not that good. And then the upsets of the week, though, we did an excellent one in my opinion. There were several upsets last week. It seems like we hit on just about every one of them. The Michigan State Miami one, the Mississippi State Memphis one, the Minnesota Colorado one. So there were a lot of upsets last week that happened that we hit on. So we got 4 out of 5 on that. Overall, 56-28. So we're picking 2/3 of the games correctly here. 51-33 against the spread. You want to be at least if you want to be good at picking against the spread, you want to be around 60%, and we're way at that number. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. Locks of the week, 12-4. Even though it's a disappointing week, still 12 out of 16. Not terrible, but not the best record we could have on that. And then upsets of the week, 7 out of 16. I would love to finish this season with a above 500 record in the upsets of the week. So that means I'm making y'all money if you're following my picks and going by my picks, which I suggest you don't do, by the way. I suggest with betting advice, just go with your own thoughts and stuff. But overall, we're having a pretty fun year so far picking the games. So 25 games, 15 in the straight up category, 5 locks, 5 upsets of the week. The spreads are from DraftKings from 11:50 last night. I was gonna film this last night around midnight, but I fell asleep, so that's why you're getting this. I'm filming this around noon today, and hopefully you'll get this video hopefully by early evening. So let's go ahead check out the games. First game is one of the top 25 games. Notre Dame versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a 6.5 point favorite. This game is a neutral site game in Soldier Field in Chicago. Um, I mean, I look at this game. I do think Wisconsin's the better team, and they're going to win. The question is about that spread, in my opinion, 6.5. I'm taking Wisconsin win and cover. I actually think Wisconsin wins this game by 2 possessions, honestly. I have the score 27-14. I look at Notre Dame. I'm just not that sold on them. I know they beat Purdue and covered the spread. That's great and all, but they had a pull away late in that one. I look at Wisconsin. I think this Wisconsin defense is for real offensively. If they could just be a little bit better offensively, I think they could get to the Big Ten championship game. So, and Notre Dame offensively, I think is pretty pedestrian, and defensively pretty good. But at the same time, I do think this defense isn't as good as Wisconsin. So I'm gonna take Wisconsin 27-14 in this one to win and cover. Next game, Missouri versus Boston College. A sneaky non-conference game here. Boston College +2 at home. I'm a little bit surprised Boston College is actually an underdog in this game at home. So I'm actually because I think they're gonna win this game. I like Boston College +2 to win outright. I have the score 37-30. Missouri's a good team and all, but with the game on the road, I believe this is a noon start if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and I'm gonna take Boston College in this one to pull off the minor upset, 37-30. Let's see, next game, LSU versus Mississippi State. Remember last year when Mississippi State went down to LSU in the first week of the season for the SEC and went ahead and beat LSU down there in Death Valley 44-34. This is a big game for both teams. I think this game will go a long way on determining how the season will go for these teams. LSU, they're coming off a few wins against some inferior teams. Um, After a loss to UCLA. Mississippi State, they're coming off that upset loss against Memphis. They did beat NC State, found a way to beat a Louisiana Tech team that is not that bad, despite having 2 losses on their resume. I look at this game, it's in Stark Vegas. I think LSU wins and covers here. I do. They're 2.5 point favorites on the road. I just have a gut feeling they're gonna go in there and find a way to win this game. I like them to win and cover. I have it by 4 points, 27-23. I think it's back and forth. You get a little bit of everything in this game. Go ahead, give me LSU. I believe in Coach O. I know some people criticize Coach O, but I do believe in Coach O. He won a championship. I do think his players believe in him, and in my opinion, I think Coach O is a lot better than what some people might give him credit for. So, and he had a bigger role in 2019 than some people might give him credit for. So, go ahead, give me LSU 27-23. They'll find a way to win this game, in my opinion. Next game, Texas Tech versus Texas. This game's in Austin. Texas is an 8 point favorite at home. Texas lost to Arkansas. They beat Louisiana, even though that win's not looking as good as I thought it might. They blew out Rice. Texas Tech, they're undefeated. The one notable win is against Houston. This game, in my opinion, I think is going to be maybe a bit of a shootout. I like Texas to win. I'm taking Texas Tech +8 though. I'm just not sold that Texas will cover that spread, so I'm going to take a little bit of a chance on Texas Tech +8 on the road. I'll go ahead and take Texas though to win this game by a touchdown, 38-31 Texas. Next game, SMU versus TCU. This game is a rivalry game in that Dallas area. TCU, the one notable wins against Cal. SMU, they won on a Hail Mary last week against Louisiana Tech. If you want to see my reaction to that, I watched that live actually. I flipped on the game with like 20 seconds left because I saw the score board and I was like, man, this game has like 30 seconds left and it's close, and SMU's driving down the field. Possibly could get a game-winning touchdown. So I flipped it and won the game, and then a few plays later, bam, SMU. It was a hell of a Hail Mary. It was a deflection. All the people tried catching it. It was deflected and bounced away into a SMU player's hands in the end zone. 40-37 was their final on that one over Louisiana Tech. I believe it was the Alabama-Florida recap live stream. If you want to see my reaction to that. But I like TCU to win. I am going to take SMU +9 though. I think SMU is I believe they are not a bad team. And I think TCU. With this being a rivalry game, I know it's in TCU, but I think it's gonna be close. I like this game. I like TCU to win by a touchdown, but SMU +9. The score I have for this one is 31-24 TCU. All right, Illinois versus Purdue, a Big Ten matchup here. This game I think could go a long way on determining on these two teams' seasons. Illinois is a 1-3. Give them credit though, that game was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be against Maryland. Purdue, they lost 2 touchdowns to Notre Dame. Notre Dame did have pull away late a little bit. You look at the rest of the season, they did beat Oregon State. I went back and forth with the spread. I do think Purdue wins. But I'm actually going to take a bit of a chance on Illinois. I do think this team isn't as bad as a 1-3 record. I know they lost to UTSA, which they look like to be one of the better Conference USA teams. We weren't able to get that game against Memphis in this spread in this video, unfortunately. But I like Illinois +10. I mean +11, but I have Purdue winning by 10. And I have Purdue going ahead and winning this one 34-24. Next game, the other top 25 matchup, and in my opinion, the game of the week. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. This game's in Jerry's World. This is a neutral site game every year, which I personally don't like because I don't think it's as big as a rivalry some people might think. You look at A&M. Obviously they lost the quarterback and Haynes King. They bring in Zach Kalata. Arkansas, they blew out Georgia Southern 45-10. I went back and forth for this one, and I don't pick top 25 matchups in the upset category. So even if I did pick Arkansas in this one, It would not be in the upset category. But I did go A&M. I'm taking Arkansas plus 5.5 though. I think this is a field goal game, 26-23 A&M. I think you get once again a little bit of everything, but at the end, I think A&M is better talent wise, and I think they'll find play. I think they'll make a play or two in this game and win this game. I think they have the better coach. I think they have better talent. Give me A&M 26-23. But I do think Arkansas still has a lot of potential. I really do. Matter of fact, I think both of these teams can get to 10 wins. Honestly, I really do. Next game, Kent State, Maryland. I'm a Maryland Terps fan. So Kent State fans, I am not biased. I'm actually taking you plus 14.5. I like Maryland by 2 touchdowns. That spread's just a little bit too large for me. I look at Maryland. You look at last week's game against Illinois. They went in there and found a way to win. I mean, that's basically what happened in that game. I mean, this defense for Maryland though is a lot more better than what I thought they were going to be. They only gave up 24 to West Virginia. I don't care so much about the Howard game. I knew that was going to be a shutout going in, and it was. And against Illinois, I mean, one touchdown was Illinois scored. Maryland caused a fumble, and the wide receiver picked up and ran it in. It was a big play for Illinois. It was like a 34-yard pass. Maryland forced the fumble, went right into the Illinois player's hands, and he ran in for a touchdown. So to make it 17-10, and Maryland came back down 17-10 to win that game. So and Kent State, they have a good quarterback. They're definitely one of the better MAC teams. I like Maryland though in this one. As I said, I am going to take Kent State plus 14.5, but give me the Terps in this one by 2 touchdowns. I'm going 31-17 Maryland in this one. Next game is Louisville versus Florida State. Yeah, you call me crazy all you want. I'm taking Florida State plus 2 to win this one outright. And the reason why is I'm still not that sold on Louisville. The game's in Tallahassee. I think Florida State knows they have to win this game to at least have a shot at a bowl game. I mean, I said Florida State. I was high on them going into the season. I thought they could get to 7-8 wins, and boy, do I look wrong on that. So I'm going to take one more shot on Florida State. They're plus 2 at home against a Louisville team that I think is wildly inconsistent. And I'm going to go ahead and take Florida State in this one. I think this game is a shootout. And I'm going to go ahead and take Florida State to win this game. I have the score. I have it 38-35 Florida State. I think they'll win by a field goal. But give me the Noles versus the Cardinals in this one. UCLA versus Stanford. Interesting Pac-12 game here. UCLA 4.5 point favorites on. Man, let me reword that. UCLA 4.5 point favorites on the road against a Stanford team that did they beat Southern Cal on the road by 2 touchdowns when they were double digit dogs, and they went ahead and beat Vanderbilt did they beat them by 20 points? I don't remember the score to that one. I think it was 34-13 if I'm not mistaken. But I don't remember the score for that one. When I actually picked Vanderbilt to at least cover that spread. So I think the spread was like 11.5. So Stanford, they're definitely better than what a lot of people give them credit for. UCLA, they're coming off a disappointing loss against a Fresno State team, which did not surprise me at all that UCLA went ahead and lost that game. I went back and forth for this one. I think Chip Kelly's going to have these guys ready to roll. I like them by field goal. I am going to take Stanford plus 4.5. Give me UCLA in this one. I have the score 30-27 UCLA. Okay, the last 5 games in the straight up category. Kansas State versus Oklahoma State. This game is 2 undefeated teams. Kansas State, they were actually underdogs last week against Nevada. We picked Kansas State, I think it was plus 2, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a back and forth early, but they pulled away and won by 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma State, hey, they went up there and found a way to beat Boise State when I didn't think they were going to win that game. So, give Oklahoma State credit there. This is a big game, I think, for both teams kicking off Big 12 play here. Oklahoma State is a 6-point favorite at home there in Boone Pickens Stadium. I know, and I'm going to go with Oklahoma State, but I'm going to take Kansas State plus 6. I think this is a tight game. I like Oklahoma State 31-27. I'm picking Oklahoma State just because they're at home, but give me Kansas State plus 6. I'll take Oklahoma State to win this one 31-27. Next game, West Virginia versus Oklahoma. This game is the ABC night game. Oklahoma is a 16.5 point favorite at home against West Virginia. I think Oklahoma wins this game, but I'm going to take West Virginia plus 16.5. I am not sold on Oklahoma at all. Defensively, I think they're above average to decent. Offensively, I do think they're inconsistent offensively. I don't think Spencer Rattler is anywhere near Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Kyle Murray. So I don't think he's anywhere near those quarterbacks. So it would not surprise me if Oklahoma loses a game somewhere on the schedule. It's not going to be to West Virginia at home, but I do not think they cover the 16.5 point spread. I'm going to go ahead and take Oklahoma by 12, 35-23 Oklahoma. I think West Virginia's defense is decent enough to keep them in this game some. But I think Oklahoma does pull away maybe a little bit. Maybe makes a few plays offensively, wins this game 35-23. Next game is UAB versus Tulane. I thought about playing this game in my locks of the week. Tulane's going to win this game and cover. You look at Tulane, the first game back in front of their fans since Hurricane Ida. So that's great to see them back down there in New Orleans area. UAB, yeah, in my opinion, they might be the best team in the Conference USA. Tulane is a good team though. I know they got blown out 61-21 to Ole Miss, but I still think they're a good team. I just think they face an Ole Miss team, which we're not picking this week, but I think has a really good shot in going to Tuscaloosa and beating Alabama. Um, but I like Tulane in this one. 30-21 is the score I have. I have it by 9. Go ahead and give me the Green Wave over the Blazers. Cal Washington, Pac-12 game here. Both teams looking for a positive sign, in my opinion. I know Washington went ahead and blew out Arkansas State. This game's at home for Washington. 7.5 point favors at home. A Cal team that's just looking for a positive thing. They lost to a Nevada team, which we did predict correctly. They lost to TCU. I believe they played FCS and won, if I'm not mistaken. This is a Cal team just looking uh, for a positive sign, looking for a big win. Wilcox, I said during the beginning of the season, he's on the hot seat, and I think that seat's definitely warming up some. You look at Washington, as I said, coming off that big win against Arkansas State after a very disappointing start. I went back and forth with this one. I think Washington wins. God, that spread's tough because I could see Washington winning this one by as much as 17 points, but I could also see them only winning by a touchdown. I'm gonna go with my gut and take Washington minus 7.5. I think with the game at home, I think they pull away a little bit. I have Washington in this one, 31-20 over Cal. I think they win it by 11. And then the last game in the straight up category, Colorado versus Arizona State, another Pac-12 game here. Arizona State's a 14-point favorite at home against Colorado team that got shut out by Minnesota 30 to nothing last week. And to be honest, the past 2 weeks, Colorado has only managed to muster up 7 points. Arizona State coming off a disappointing loss against BYU. I think Arizona State comes back, bounces back, and I actually think they win and cover here. I think Colorado offensively is not that good, and I mean if they were any good, they would beat Texas A&M. I mean, in my opinion, if they were any good, and they would at least put up 17 points against Minnesota or so. So I think Arizona State. I think you're going to see a good defense showing here because I think Colorado's offense is not that good. I'm taking Arizona State in this one to win and cover. I'm going to go ahead and take them to win. I got 24-3 Arizona State. I actually think this game is going to be 3 touchdowns. And Colorado's defense is actually not bad. I'll actually say it's pretty good, but overall, the offense I think is such a huge hole throughout this whole team that I think they're going to struggle even getting to 10 points. So 24-3 Arizona State. Now to my locks of the week. So 5 locks. I give you 5 locks each week against the spread. So here we go. Liberty versus Syracuse. I'm taking Liberty -6 to win and cover. Syracuse, they have impressed me a little bit this season. That Rutgers game I thought was going to be a bit of a larger point spread at the end instead of 17-7. Their defense overall for Syracuse is actually pretty good. They beat Ohio team 29-9, even though that win does not look impressive at all. I like Liberty come in here. Malik Willis, I think is pretty good. Liberty, I think, is a top 30 team in the country. They're not in my top 25, but I do think they're top 30, and I think Liberty wins this game. I'm taking them -6. I like them to win this game. I think the score is going to be 30-10 Liberty. I like them by 20. Next game is Iowa State versus Baylor. I'm taking Iowa State -7. I'm surprised the spread is even a 7-point spread. I like Iowa State in this one by 17 points, 38-21 Iowa State. I think they're the better team. I think Baylor, and give Baylor credit. They did blow out Kansas 45-7. I know some people were actually taking Kansas, I think, +18 in that one. But I mean, that's against Kansas. I like Iowa State 38-21. Clemson versus NC State. Hey, when you're in doubt, take Clemson with Dave Doran and NC State. Well, let me reword that. When in doubt, look at the teams. One coach is Dabo Sweeney. The other one has Dave Doran. Give me Clemson to win and cover in this one. I know last week was disappointing despite winning. You guys will bounce back. As I said, I have no faith in Dave Doran. I think the guy's just a very average coach. Whenever there's some hype around NC State, it crashes down. Now, I do think this is Dave Doran's best shot to beat Clemson, in my opinion, but it won't happen because Clemson will win and cover. I'm gonna go ahead take Clemson to win this game. I like them to win this game. I think the offense actually bounces back some. I'm gonna go 34-13 Clemson. I like them by 3 touchdowns. Next game, Nebraska versus Michigan State. Michigan State's the biggest surprise in the Big Ten, in my opinion. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the Big Ten, honestly, but I was wrong about that. But even though I still think they're going to be around 500 in the Big Ten when it's all said and done, I like Michigan State to win this game and cover. Nebraska, very impressive performance. Might have been the best performance under Scott Frost era, honestly. But I like Michigan State to win and cover here. I'm going to take them by 2 touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and say that they win this one. I got it 30-16 Michigan State. And then North Carolina versus Georgia Tech. To be honest, out of all the locks, this is the one I went back and forth about the most. I thought about maybe picking the UAB Tulane game here, but I went with this one because in my opinion, yeah, Georgia Tech 14-8, very impressive performance defensively by them. But I think Sam Howell is on a mission. I think North Carolina. It would not surprise me. North Carolina finishes the season 11-1. I like the Tar Heels to go into Georgia Tech and win this game by 3 touchdowns. I got the score 40-17, actually 23 points. 40-17 North Carolina in this one. I think they're the better team. I think Georgia Tech probably competitive in the first half, but I think North Carolina explodes in the second half, 40-17 in that one. And now your 5 upsets of the week. And the rule of the upsets is that they have to be at least a 3-point underdog. I like Wake Forest on the road +4 to win this game against Virginia on Friday night. Virginia's defense did not look good at all against North Carolina. Maybe it has more to do with North Carolina, but I'm going to take Wake Forest on the road. They were really impressive against Florida State. I think the score of that one was 35-14. Wake Forest beat Florida State by 3 touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and take Wake Forest +4 on the road. I honestly think they're the better team, and I'm going to take them to win this game outright +4 on the road. I like Wake Forest in this one. Sam Hartman and all of them to get the win 29-24. I like them by 5. Next game, Ohio versus Northwestern. Yeah, I know Ohio doesn't look that good. So doesn't Northwestern. I like Ohio to at least cover the spread. Northwestern to me is the worst team in the Big Ten by far. And I actually like Ohio to pull off an upset here. Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald. The one caveat to him is he always struggles against MAC teams early in the season. I like Ohio in a low-scoring game in this one. I'm taking them 16-13 Ohio. Give me Ohio Bobcats +14.5 to pull out the upright upset. The upset here. The upright upset. Man, let me reword that. I like Ohio to pull off the upset here, despite being 14.5-point underdogs. Next game, Boise State versus Utah State. A little Mountain West action. This is a noon game, by the way, on Eastern Standard Time. I like Utah State here. I think Coach Anderson there. I think he's finding something there. Utah State. They beat Washington State earlier in the season. They've been pretty impressive. They're undefeated. The game is in Logan, Utah. There at Utah State, Boise State. They have 2 losses. They're going to come in as I think in a little bit of a wounded animal mode. But I like Utah State to still pull off the upset. They're getting 9 points at home. Go ahead, give me Utah State to pull off the upright upset here in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and take them to win this one. I think maybe a bit of a shootout. I have a 33-30 Utah State. Toledo versus Ball State, a little MAC action here. I like Ball State to pull off the upright upset in this one. Plus 4.5 at home. I think they are the better team, honestly. Toledo very disappointing against Colorado State. Maybe Colorado State's a bit better than what some people might think. But they play Iowa this week. Colorado State, we weren't able to get that game in. But I like Ball State in this one. Plus 4.5 at home. I think they pull off the upright upset. I mean, I'm having trouble saying that for some reason. Go ahead and give me Ball State in this one. I like them to win 27-20. And then the last upset, I like South Carolina to pull off the upset against Kentucky. They're getting 5 points at home. I think they pull off the upset. Kentucky looks kind of flat, in my opinion. They beat Missouri, which is good. They look very flat against the FCS opponent. I know Mark Stoops said he was disappointed in the performance there. I think South Carolina. They did cover against Georgia. That was we picked that game actually last week, and I said Georgia will win and cover. I thought that game had 45-7 written all over it. The final was 40-13, but they did cover South Carolina. In my opinion, I actually think Shane Beamer's going to work at South Carolina. I do. And I think he might pull off a big win or two. And it starts with this game. Give me the Gamecocks in this one. I think they pull off the upright upset. Um, Go ahead and give. I think it's maybe kind of low scoring. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and take South Carolina though. I'm gonna take them 24-20. So go ahead and give me South Carolina here. So those are my 5 upsets this week, and those are the picks for this week. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about my picks. Tell me if you have a game which wasn't one here because I did leave off a few which I wanted to pick one here but didn't. Give me that game. I'll give you my picks. So. Thanks for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate you do that. This is McD the Beast signing off.